So welcome back to the show. I know it's been a very, very long time. Like I said, technical difficulties held up the episode, but I don't want to get too much into his personal life. But Sean is in Maryland right now, so it's a little harder for us to record. We've looked into the Zoom, but I know it's gonna sound crazy. But from what he says, his grandma doesn't have internet, which I could see. It's just not everybody needs internet, so he doesn't have like a super, in his words, like a stable connection, which that's fair. It'd probably be hard on a Zoom, so we're gonna figure something out there. But I've been wanting to get into it. This is something that me and Sean had already talked about it, but I just came and did it because I can. So I'm gonna do it for me and Sean. So Sean's here in spirit, but I got my boy Nathan here today. Me and Nathan go way back. But we're going to talk about all that today. But if you're listening, thank you for supporting. And sorry, I'm going to try to keep them coming as frequently as possible. And as you can see, we're somewhere new. I will pull up on all the guests. So if you're a friend of mine listening and you want to be on the podcast, I will pull up to your house. We will do it however. I will be the traveling podcast if that's what it takes. The show Hidden in the Smoke goes anywhere, Nathan, but welcome today. The show will travel. But we've been talking about this for weeks, schedule stuff, but forget about that. I can talk about that in another episode. But Nathan, speak some words. You haven't said nothing yet, man. You could talk over me. Let it happen.
We're just getting into this, right?
I know. I was telling him all the stuff before. I was like, I don't want to put too much pressure on you, but
no, all good. Just opening up slowly but surely.
Yeah. So we're here at Nathan's crib. We watched the game. We watched the Heat beat the Celtics at home on Game 7.
I thought the Celtics were going to take it.
If I watched those other games, I definitely could see why,
Yeah. Fucking Jimmy finally stepped it up. That's what happened.
Yeah, 100%. And then, who is it? The other kid, 26 points. I didn't remember.
Caleb Martin.
There you go. Never heard of him. Yeah, but I guess to start the podcast, me and Nathan kind of talked about it. Little quick chit chat before we started. I'm gonna lead it in with, I've known Nathan since the 6th grade of middle school, so it's been a while. We've been through some crazy times, especially in high school. But we met in the science. I know it sounds weird and kind of out there because it's like it's another guy, but it's my boy. But science class, and then we bonded over hooping, and then ever since then, that's pretty much just
honestly, yeah. And then sneakers too.
Yeah,
sneakers
in middle school, sneakers were big deal. That was kind of what it was too. Everybody knew we had heat.
Now, in middle school, whenever we started, I can't remember the name, the IG page, dude.
Oh, the one that we made because we were like 210 bad kicks. If you remember, if you're a friend that remembers that, let me know. Yeah,
dude. Now looking back,
if we would have really stuck with it though,
dude, that's what I'm saying. Nowadays,
crazy.
Nothing but
it's just we were kids and we were like, oh, we got Instagram. Let's post our shoes. That's exactly what we did.
If we would have just stuck with it, that page would have been as old as us at this point.
Yeah, and I mean, because like there's so much you could do with it now, especially Instagram. You can sell things on there. Like, who knows what we could have? I mean, I don't know. But yeah, if we would have took it serious, I always think that to myself. Like, especially with video games.
Oh yeah, especially we play every freaking day, basically.
Yeah, if I played as much as I did, like if I played when I was a kid and I really like tried, probably could have been YouTube star.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody has said that, but I'm just like, I played so much.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty confident I can go up against any 2K player out there at this point.
Oh yeah,
dude.
Yeah,
but
I feel you.
Dang, dude. Yeah, if I would have played anything else as much as I did into the games, oof.
Yeah, but so me and Nathan, we bonded over hoops and sneakers, and then pretty much just grew up together. Essentially, that's what you do with your friends, I guess. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy to think about though. Like Sean, met him in middle school too. Like that's when I tell people, like, most of my friends, either we met in middle school and we stayed friends, and then like some people I met through high school. And the people that are like, I thought I were your friend. I'm just saying, like, people that you constantly see. Like, and you might be like, well, you don't come see me. I'm sorry, dog. Just sometimes you don't come see me either. But all I'm saying is, that's like a true, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
In middle school with Hassa too, dude. dang.
Crazy. And then we went to college together. Like, what?
Yep.
And we went to we just
Literally everything.
it's like growing up together with your boy. It's crazy.
Dang, dude.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
But now Nathan's a dad, dude. Nathan's a 24-year-old dad.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Bro. That's nuts.
Yep. So we will talk about some of that later. This episode is just kind of out there.
Yeah.
But so I guess, Nathan, what was your favorite middle school memory that we had? Like something funny or something. Even it could be even high school, because I mean, hey, you know.
Honestly, the games, like obviously playing middle school in general, like sports, since that's your first like official in school type of thing.
Oh yeah.
I think those were probably the most, I know it's not a word, but funnest times. Even like sitting at the lunch table basically talking nonsense and shit to each other.
The dumbest stuff.
Bro, those were fun too.
The high school, because we had to our freshman year, we had to sit in the cafeteria, right?
Mhm.
Before school started.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh my god, the roast at the tables and stuff, man.
Bro, we grew up roasting each other, so that's why nowadays you can't.
Yeah,
say
that's
anything
like
to me
that's why when I hear like kids are, I mean, I get there are some people that get bullied. I'm not saying
Yeah.
that, but like when some people are like, oh, they call me a name, I'm just like,
bro,
suck it up, dude.
No.
Like it happened. I've been called far worse things at a lunch table. That's all I'll say.
honestly, at the lunch table,
At the lunch
you get the
table,
most
man.
heat, especially John, my brother John. Man.
If you've sorry, the camera's bugging. There it goes. So if you've never met John,
Yeah.
I mean, the people that do, they never forget him.
Bro.
Everybody, I've talked to people about him when they've like come around that I've invited. They don't remember his name, but they're like Nathan's brother, and I'm like, oh yeah.
No,
They're like a fucking handful. I'm sorry for swearing, but
no.
usually what everybody says. But I love him to death.
Yeah,
I mean, I really do.
no, he's one of those guys that
He'll get on your nerves, but
Oh,
then
yeah, for
he,
sure.
he gets you
hate him,
back.
but love him at
And
the
he'll
same
get you back
time,
somehow. He
dude.
makes it up to you in a weird way.
Oh yeah.
But God, yeah, John, yeah, definitely. Especially in high school when John would take us places, we would roll with John in the back of his car.
Heck yeah.
Oh my
he
God.
He had like a 12 or 15 in the trunk
Sub,
too.
and we would just be back here. Bah!
Dude, that thing was rattling the whole street at one point. The whole car was shaking.
John be dropping us off at the movie theater. Three kids just getting out of this dude's car. All right, later, Nathan. It's hilarious.
To this day, I remember whenever he showed us that OG Mecco.
When OG,
you guessed it.
when You Guessed It came out and took over the world.
Dude.
God, John would play that every
too.
day.
Oh, yeah, John.
Every day after school, hey, that song came on at least once when he picked us up.
Oh my
With the
God.
sub in the back too. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's how I knew he was there. I was like, oh hey.
You know what's funny? I always think, or that, and when he played Danny Glover,
Oh,
that's when I fell in love with Young Thug right there.
not a lot of people know about.
That's why I always
that
tell
song,
people, like,
dude.
when they were talking about, like, you're not a day one fan if you never heard blah, blah, blah by Young Thug. I was like, if you've never heard that song, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, no, dude.
That song goes in
I
anyway.
think now it's even a different name at this.
Yeah, it's
point.
called Two Bitches. That's what it's called. They just took the hook.
I know it by Danny Glover.
It's originally called Danny Glover, but yes.
Yeah, that song.
And sorry if you hear that on the mic. I don't have the mount. It's at Sean's, and he's in Maryland. Can't get to the apartment, so it's like this for now. I might buy a mount here in a few weeks. But if you hear movement and stuff, that's why. So sorry about that. But sorry, I moved and it went in my ears and I thought about it. But yeah, so John, I'll be honest. Without John, I think our music taste would be very different. Very, very different.
Without John, I wouldn't have heard about like 80% of my playlist.
Yeah, so I give him credit there, but there are things that I put him on to these days, so
Yeah.
I'm proud of that.
No, John, but then again, John too. He also listens to so many different artists.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Freaking, he listened to Cumbias one day, and then the next day he's listening to like.
I mean, if you want to find out, just add him on Instagram or Snapchat. You get an insight to his concert that he puts on in his car
Every day.
every day. It never
On the
fails.
way home.
At a stoplight, at a green light, on a highway, John is singing and it's being recorded.
Yeah,
We love you. I don't watch him all the time.
That's sick. Yeah.
Unless it's a song I like, then I start singing with the video.
Just like going like that on the
Hey.
phone at that point,
No,
start
I'm just messing with you. But no, if you do want to hear his music taste, there you go. But enough, I mean, we love him, but maybe he needs his own episode.
Yeah.
So, But yeah, but that's me. We had a lot of common interests too. Was basketball, sneakers, Kanye. Probably not a safe thing to say these days, but Kanye. And then just the music in general. We usually like most of the same people, so it was easy to just hang out, and we did most of the same things.
Honestly, man, just vibing with the boys, and then
with the boys
songs one day, and then just you heard this. And next thing you know, just went on, so forth.
It's crazy, man. Mm-hmm. We've seen like generations of like music, essentially. If you're, growing up in like growing up in like the 2000s is really weird. Yeah. And I know that may seem like a millennial thing to say or whatever, but I just think it's really interesting because like you think about the advance of technology and information at that time, and then think about how like culture shifted, like from the 2000s to the 2010s to now we're in the 2020s. Like we just got to the 2010s and the world is already like in a full cycle of something else. From 10 years ago. But like, how many people have said that in their life? You know what I'm saying? Like, your parents probably said that. Yeah. That's when I'm like, it's crazy. It's just
now they're like, oh dang, everything's shifted big time.
Yeah, it's just, man, it's crazy how you watch like the world change and then like. At this point. But then, like, you watch it, I guess I'm, like, bringing it up because it's interesting to watch it when you have, like, your friends and you're watching them grow up in the world with you. Yeah. It's very interesting. Yeah. Especially if you're close. If you're not close, it's,
just kind of the distance.
Yeah. It's just, like, you're just my friend. Yeah. Like, we just hang out when we hang out, but I don't know about things going on in your life. Stuff like that. I just think that's interesting as a whole.
Shit. Not with us, though.
Nah, man.
With us, we checking in every other day, at least a couple times a week for sure.
Oh yeah.
Make sure each other is doing good.
Literally, just text you, be like, "Did you watch the game?" Like, I don't even have to know how you're doing. But if you're not watching the game, then I'm like, "What's wrong with you?" Then I'm concerned.
At that point.
Or if you haven't even watched the highlights, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Putting in prize picks, you already know that.
Oh my god, you in the prize picks, dude. He got me onto it. I only played twice and I lost, and I don't know if I want to play again. Because that's what gambling is. If you have a problem, fix it.
Oh, yeah. No, for sure.
I'm not kidding.
Bro.
But if you're on a hot one, let it roll. But if you're on a hot one, let it roll.
My first one on Prize Picks, I put a $10 one, and the payout was $100. I won first time ever.
And you were hooked ever since?
Literally.
If they would have somehow rigged the numbers for me to win, they probably would have got me. But I lost both times I played, and I said, I don't know nothing about stats. I don't think I can do it. So, but I might try again.
It's luck here and there too. So
yeah,
it is what it is, honestly.
Yep. But yeah, so no, yes, like you said, it's like we don't have to talk all the time, but it's just like we talk. Yeah, and it's like when we talk, it's like, all right, I know how you're doing. It's weird. It's very weird.
No, it's just one of those you kind of know when something's going on or when something's going on too. Just make sure your boy's good. That's what it is.
And do that for your boy. Always be there for your boy. I mean, unless you and your boy got beef over something, I don't know. But never let it be petty. Life's too short, man. But sorry for getting somber. But it's true. It is true. These are things that you have to think about, especially in this day and age. I mean, but it's like sorry, blanked out there. I was just going back to what you were saying, like, when we talk, it's like I don't have to know every detail, right, about what's going on. And like it's interesting because like Charlize finds that I don't know if she still does, but like when I tell her like what we talk about, she's like, or like if she asks and I just happen to mention, it's always like, you didn't talk about anything else. Like, no, we just talk about sports and like some stupid stuff, like, and it's good enough. Like, it's weird. Like, guys don't really, I don't know. I've always found that interesting. Like, even if something's wrong and you don't talk about it, just talking is enough for some people. Like, you talk to me and we convert. Like, it's weird.
Just having someone to talk to in general.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a big thing, but yeah, that's funny that you say that because like thinking about Alyssa and her friend, it's like their texts are literally like their life and daily basis. Whereas
I'll text Nathan like, "Yo, did you see?" Yup. End of the message. Don't talk to him for it. Okay, cool. He did see it.
That, bro. Whereas hers are like paragraphs of everything, but Hey.
And then like I text him again, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, I was busy." And I'm like, "What happened?"
Literally. Hey.
So and then it just you can kind of, when you hang out with someone so long, you can kind of read vibe. It's the same thing. Like,
yeah.
I mean, when I hang out with Chris, we just it's like nonstop laughing, because like everything is hilarious to us, because only we know the inside jokes that we're telling. So it's even more funny when you're like, "What an idiot," and like they don't know that. Yeah.
References.
It's crazy, dude. Mm-hmm. That's how me and Sean are. That's another thing. Charlize doesn't get that. I'm not ragging on you or like trying to say like anything. I'm just saying it's something that I always tell you, like, Nathan gets it. Yeah. I don't know why, but like the movie reference thing, she's always like, huh? Because it's like sometimes it's movies she's never seen, so she's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, oh, sorry. Because our life is like just a movie quote.
Grew up watching movies.
Yeah, it's probably ADHD or something. I don't know.
Maybe, honestly.
But yeah, like it's just like, God, there's just so many quotes, Superbad quotes. Yeah. I mean, this is the guy that showed me Superbad. Like,
bro, you know what I watched recently? The Benchwarmers.
I watch it once a week at least.
We watched it at my mom's before they left on their cruise.
God, that movie's hilarious.
Me and John were literally crying.
It's so stupid.
We've seen it like 1,000 times.
Yeah, I saw it when I was 6, and I still think it's hilarious. My dad was like, check out, as when I was playing baseball. Yeah. My dad was like, you'll love this movie, kid. Hey. Sure as shit did, dude. Oh my God. Beef stew? Come on, that's clever, man.
Bro, I never had heard of that until that movie, and I forgot about that, and then I remember it. I literally been thinking about that every freaking day. Like every time I just hear beef,
I love the bench. Me and Chris quote that like at least once a week on the podcast. The dude from the bushes. I was freaking sleeping. Oh, dude. Farts and he finds out he's in the bush. That, you know what? I like fart humor. It's funny.
Bro, oh hell yeah.
Nathan said, "Oh hell yeah."
Just as something like maybe that's just the kid in us, and
I guess so. Maybe it's the ADHD in us. I'm just messing.
I wouldn't doubt it, honestly.
I say everything like that because I always see those posts. That's why I always say stupid stuff like that, because I always see posts on like TikTok, Instagram, and they're like, "Did you ever do such and such?" And it's something I did when I was a kid, and it's like, "You might have ADHD," and I'm like, "Yo, what?"
Hey,
whoa! One of them said like, "You might have autism," and I was like, "All right, hold on, buddy." Nobody's ever told me this one.
One of my coworkers sent me a test for an autism thing.
Passed or what?
Bro, I right under.
Oh,
2 points. I was like, bro, this might be something I need to get checked.
Should I go to the doctor?
Bro, honestly, I was sitting there. He was like, "Well, what'd you get?" And I think it was like out of 170. If you score like a 65, you're considered it. I got like a 62. He was like, "Dude, I got like 150." I was like, "Okay." I feel
Nathan's like, I wasn't trying though. So.
I feel a little bit better about myself.
Oh man, well, on the spectrum.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like,
no, but I read those and I'm like, am I?
Dude,
I think so. Am I?
And you start freaking out and like have a little.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, and then I'm like, I did that. That is weird. I'm like, you know what? Maybe. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not saying no. That's not. I'm just saying. It always trips me out. Like I read that and I'm like, is that true? But as people have told me, there are more factors than just that one thing.
Yeah.
So it always makes me like, oh, I have ADHD. Like I don't know if I actually do. And if you do, I'm not making fun of you. I mean, I just find it like crazy. Like what? Like that's a thing.
How everything put in perspective. Like
yeah, when you put it into perspective and then you think about yourself and you're like, am I? Yeah. It's crazy that the internet does that to you. It's like you ever looked up when you're sick, your symptoms. Oh and Jesus!
You start freaking out thinking like you have pneumonia.
What? Do I have Ebola? Like, oh, excuse me? Yeah. I don't think so, bud.
No.
Are you sure? Have you been? Out. Have you been where it's been exposed? No, but what if you start thinking the worst? Yeah.
That's how it was with COVID and everything.
Yeah.
Have a cough and you're just like, oh.
Oh, get away from that guy.
Hey,
hey man, I choked. Oh man. But yeah, so like the movie quote. Sorry, it's a weird transition, but like movie quotes and even song quotes. We did song quotes.
For real, yeah.
We do song quotes. Like with anything. It's anything. God, dude, it's doing that a lot.
Yeah.
Sorry about the focus. I'll try to cut that out. But like the 2 Chainz, bro. True. I always say true. Yeah. You know.
Even ad-libs like with Migos. Like,
Migo.
Literally just doing little things, or even Travis Scott.
It's
like,
lit.
Literally.
Hey, when something's lit, you gotta yell it's lit. 100%.
Just things like that. It's crazy how growing up now it's like.
It's stupid, yeah. But you think about it, you're like, God, I'm so dumb.
No, yeah.
I think to myself all the time, if someone just heard the things that me and my friends just say to each other, they'd be like, who raised them?
Nah, yeah. If we're at like a restaurant and we're saying these things, they're probably looking at us like.
And that's the best part. We won't say them. No. But John, loud as can be, will say the things that we say. It is insane.
Yeah. No,
that's why I'm like, there's levels. Yeah. John's on the top. No, John's on the top level.
John's like up here with no filter at all.
He's got instigator level 1,000 for sure. For sure.
Oh, man.
He could win an Olympic gold medal for saying out of pocket stuff.
Yeah, no, he doesn't.
But yeah, but again, another thing we did get from him, some of the phrases I have it's things that he said. Yeah. And that's like, we grew up around him, so it's just kind of like he was my big brother and Nathan's big brother. Yeah. So yeah,
for sure. Yeah, I would always follow him like a fart everywhere, dude. Legit everywhere.
Like a fart though.
You never heard that phrase?
Never heard
Legit, that. Yeah, dude. I would always follow him everywhere. Dude,
that's a good. I'm gonna use
even
that.
Whenever he would go with his friends, like to like the store or the mall.
I know. I remember you telling me that I didn't get to experience. That's the only thing I never got to experience.
Yeah.
But I mean, he would still take us places with him when he went somewhere. We were at the house.
And it may have just been my mom, like, go take your brother, like.
Yeah.
Or
that, like yo, we want to go to the store. Can you take us?
Exactly.
Are you buying? That was always the question. Yeah. God damn.
Can we go to McDonald's?
We barely had enough to feed ourselves, let alone feed him as well.
As long as you're throwing McDouble on there, I'll take you.
Yeah, I've heard that. God, you just brought up a memory. I remember that phrase many times. Just a McDouble and I'm good. Yeah. I'm like, all right, let's go.
Freaking John. Remember how we used to live at the same complex and just go, he would eat all your snacks, right?
Dude, he would text me on the toilet talking about, do you have toilet paper? I'm like, yeah, normal people have lots of toilet paper, John. He goes, well, yeah, can you bring me some? I don't have any more. I was like, you don't have any in the house? He's like, no, I ran out. I was like, you didn't think.
But yeah, you're already on the friggin'.
Yeah, you like before the day started, or I don't know. Unless it was just a wake up and you ran out, then that's different. But if you had like time throughout the day, like you went out and you didn't stop and get toilet paper, come on. But yeah, there was many times he'd be like, give me some toilet paper. He's like, do you got any snacks over there? I haven't gone grocery shopping.
Yeah. Your freaking goldfish and everything that you would have for your sister, right?
Mm-hmm. No, I'm big. What happened to goldfish? I'd be like, I got hungry.
You just have to take it on the chin, like if you did.
Pretty much. Once I started like, once she knew that John was coming on, I'd be like, I gave some to John, and then I'd say, and then I ate the rest, and then I ate the rest.
She was like, "Dang, you can see them a lot now."
Yep. Oh, no, but yeah, after a while, I was like, and then there would be times I'd have like toilet paper with me, and she'd see me walking out the door, and she'd be like, "Going to John's?"
She already knew at that point. Like,
oh, dude, I was like, yeah. She would just laugh. It was funny.
He definitely needs to be guest on here, bro. That'll be.
Oh man.
He'll tell stories that.
He'll tell a story. He'll be like, you have to cut that, actually.
Exactly.
He'll be like, actually, I don't know what I was thinking. You got to cut that.
He got stories for days, dude. It's nuts. How many stories that guy has.
Sorry. So, Nathan. Yeah. I guess let's talk about. We've talked about our past quite a bit and just how the things we're experiencing. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's so much more we could go into, but that could be part 2 for another day. But let's talk some basketball because we watched a hell of a game today. I mean, I barely got to watch it, but yeah. I went to go to the bathroom and then I came back and the game was over. Basically. So yeah, I was like, "Hello!" It was just the fourth quarter. Long trip to the bathroom.
Literally, third quarter, it was like I think the Celtics were up by 6 or 8.
Yeah, that's why when Nathan came in, he was like, "It's over. They won." I was like, "It was like a 5-point game. What happened?"
Yeah, they won by like 20.
Game was over. Yeah, I don't know what I missed, but I don't want to say congrats because like I don't really care that much. I mean, I like Jimmy Butler a lot.
Yeah.
That's my underrated NBA pick. I think he's very underappreciated. No, but Jimmy, I'm proud. I'm happy for Jimmy. I'm proud because I mean the 8th seed.
Bro. Are they the first one ever?
And they lost their playing game. Yeah, no 8. I think the 8th seeds have gone. I don't think they've ever won. I don't think the 8th seed has ever won. Because I think weren't the Knicks an 8th seed when we played them?
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So people have gone. They just haven't won, which that makes sense. Yeah. But especially when they beat the Bucks, an 8th seed had never beaten a 1 seed, so that was new too.
Bro, no, that's just the fact that they beat the Bucks.
I mean, people were like, well, Giannis was hurt. I'm like, yeah, he stood Chris Middleton, Bobby Portis, Brooke Lopez, Drew Holiday. Like, there's enough to get the job done because it's Jimmy Butler and Bam, who's on the fence, in my opinion. He has his moments. Yeah. And Kyle Lowry, he's getting up there in age, so he's not as consistent as he used to be. And he was not always a dominant player anyway. Yeah.
Like starter that you can throw in if need be, but.
Yeah, and I'm not saying I'm an amazing basketball player. I'm just, from what I've seen, like, you know, there's a reason that they had to break him and DeMar up. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, I mean, I think Kyle Lowry would be great on any team because he could shoot. He can run an offense pretty well. But I'm just saying, in terms of the talent, the Bucks should still win the series.
Yeah, technically speaking. Because they haven't had Tyler Hero either. So.
Yeah, Tyler Hero got hurt. Wasn't the first game?
Yeah.
It was literally the first game they played. So he also got hurt. Yes. So they were down one of their best shooters. Literally, and playmaker. I'd say playmaker too, because he can do things off the dribble. So yeah. So the Heat were definitely at a disadvantage too. I mean, I know it's not Giannis. We're not comparing Tyler and Giannis, but I mean, it's a key piece. Yeah. So to get this far and the way they have, people like, just Jimmy, man.
Yeah. No, I don't know what happened to him these last 3 games, but tonight.
He's got to be exhausted at this point.
Oh yeah, no, and he has to go up against now.
Yeah, I don't like the Celtics, but they're not a bad team. So I mean, he's playing some hoopers.
Yeah, no, the Celtics are.
So I get it, but he can't. I mean, you already asked me. I think they're getting swept. I would be happy for Jimmy to win because that'd be great. But there's the other piece of me. I like Joker a lot too. That's why I tell everybody, they're like, oh, you just, I like the game, man. Game's a great game. I mean, and we're growing up in an era where the offense is at its highest efficiency because you can't play defense. I'll say it 100%. No. If I was in the NBA, I would not be complaining, but they don't. I mean, you cannot play defense. I don't care what anybody says.
Foul or something.
And I'm not saying hand checking and undercutting is defense, but I mean, you're at the defender's mercy these days. Like, I'm sorry, at the ball handler's mercy. That's what I meant. Sorry. Yeah. But I mean, you think about it. We see players who, like, back in the day with some solid defense might not be that good. I'm not saying Joker's one of those people, but I'm just saying, like, there's just times you're like, he'd be okay.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like, if he had someone that was like Gary Payton just constantly in your face. Yeah. No, that pissed me off.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I couldn't do that.
Someone like that, or even a Dennis Rodman type of...
You know what I'm saying? Like, just the physicality. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. I don't disagree that it's not a thing. It's just when people are like, LeBron couldn't do it. Yeah, no, I don't believe that. And you could be like, wow, crazy that you believe that. Yeah, I think it's the GOAT, too. I don't care. I've died on the hill. Mm-hmm. But I think he would survive because... So we'll get into this. I mean, like, look how big he is compared to people he's playing now.
6'9".
He would have looked like that back then.
Yeah, no, he's definitely.
So yeah, John Stockton, out of the way. Like, what are we talking? Nah. I mean, I know John's not gonna guard him, but I mean, pick and roll it. Hi, John. They switched everything back then. Yeah. And you couldn't play zone back in the 90s, right? Or when were you allowed to play zone?
If they did, I don't think they
did. Well, you weren't actually there. It was like a rule you couldn't play zone defense for a while. Mm-hmm. I don't remember when it started. I'm not that deep into.
Yeah, I don't know about those.
To the history of that, but there was a time when you couldn't zone. So I'm just like, athletically, who in that era? Yeah, no one. Maybe Dominique at the closest, but I mean, yes, Michael's athletic, but he had to get his ass beat by the Pistons. Yeah. To reach that strength. LeBron was like that when he came out of high school.
Yeah, he's always been.
I mean, he probably got a little stronger and a little more beefy, but that happens with age. But I'm just saying, like, he was a unit.
Nah.
So,
came in. Really,
I think he handled the physicality. I think the reason, and it does bother me, I will say, I'll be an honest fan. I don't like when he shoots jump shots. It bothers the hell out of me.
Nah, he's not consistent.
Don't get me wrong. He can shoot, and he's the greatest scorer of all time because the points say it. Yeah, in 100 less games anyway. Mm-hmm. But he's not Steph Curry. No, he's Magic Johnson, but I think a little bit better of a jump shot, not as good a passer. I think Magic.
Yeah. I think that's.
Besides LeBron, Magic's my favorite player. So yeah, the dude's disgusting. Yeah, the man literally he's just out there to have fun. Yeah, and he's good at it.
He does it too.
Yeah, Magic Johnson's up there, but that's what I'm saying with LeBron. He's not a great shooter. So when he's just like when I was watching him in the playoffs, just take 3 after 3, I started just getting upset. Like Dylan Brooks is guarding you. Let's go ahead and put that shoulder. I'm sorry if I'm yelling, by the way. Put that shoulder down and let's get to the rim. And you're like, the shoulder's illegal. I don't care. Everybody does it. So just go ahead and do it and go ahead and score the basket because Dylan Brooks is not holding LeBron James, but he goes ahead and lets it. Yeah. And then they lose because you have the other Anthony Davis. Jesus.
Street clothes.
Yeah, street clothes. You have earned that name. And everyone's like, he's healthy and he's good. That's what I told someone. They're like, I saw someone say, what more did LeBron fans want? AD had 20 points and 22 rebounds. And I'm like, great. He doesn't play with a presence is the problem. Yeah. He'll grab all the rebounds in like the first half, or he'll grab like a handful in the first half, handful of points in the first half, and then he'll come in the second half or maybe the entire game, just depending on what the game's like. Yeah. But like that game in particular, I remember it. I was watching him, and even in the middle of the game, I texted Chris, and I was like, he's playing awful. And he's like, what are you talking about? He's got 20 and 20. I'm like, watch his presence. Yeah. And Chris was like, I see what you mean. He's like, I mean, he still played a good game, but and Chris was like, he's like, I agree then. Yeah, he kind of agreed with me then. He's like, I see what you mean. Because then we talked about it after. He's like, I started noticing it more. It's like he's there, but he's not there.
He's literally like,
he's 7 feet, but he's like a body. He's just a body. Sometimes.
Not a difference maker out there.
He's not number 75 on the all-time 75 list sometimes. That's why I'm like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And it proved when Joker played. If he played Joker, it didn't matter how good defense he played because
barbecue chicken.
Yeah, because Joker's like, okay, you can stop me. Can the rest of them stop everybody else? And that's the problem. And that's why I say Joel Embiid's MVP is a pity MVP. That's all it is. I mean, in my opinion, he didn't earn it.
The last 2 years was Joker, right?
Yeah. And that's where everyone's like, oh, they're just tired of voting for him. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
It's supposed to go to the best player.
On the best team.
On the best team. That was the best team from the beginning of the season. Really? They didn't lose the first seed.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
No disrespect to Joel.
One of the
top 3.
I don't like how he feels entitled to it because he hasn't really done much in the playoffs. His biggest moment is because Kawhi Leonard hit a shot. Think about that.
He's never gotten past the second round, right?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. Great player.
Yeah.
But he's not the best center in the league. And anybody who thinks he is, I think you're delusional.
Yeah.
Or you just like his game more. And, hey, I guess so. But...
Gotta get past the second round.
But I've been watching a lot of debates on like YouTube and stuff like that, and they all keep saying that about Joker, is that to the common fan, and I agree to an extent, but I'm just like, the NBA shouldn't cater, and I get it, it's a business, but they shouldn't cater so much to the common fan, but it's that his game and the position that he plays is... Nobody cares. It's not Steph Curry. Yeah. It's not an athletic.
It's not
which I agree. Yeah, it's not sexy basketball. Yeah. It's not, ooh, look at that crossover 3 that he just hit. Damn, he dropped him. Yeah. Or, God, he just posted that guy. I get it.
Yeah.
But when you watch him and he just...
It's almost like that Spurs basketball that was like...
But with one person.
Yeah,
it's exactly what it is. It's Spurs basketball, but one guy's doing it himself.
Mm-hmm.
it shocks me.
Yeah, I think that's why we enjoy it so much, honestly.
And it's like, as a person who was like, I was a bigger, I'm a bigger guy, but I wasn't tall, and I was forced to play big man positions. Mm-hmm. To see a guy at the big man position just dominate a game like that, haven't seen it since Shaquille O'Neal and Tim Duncan. Yeah. So who literally is like, I'm gonna pass, I'm gonna shoot, He's not the best defender. I think that's his only gripe, but he has gotten better. He's made attempts. Like, he tries. He's just.
You can't have everything.
Nobody's perfect. Yeah. You're gonna have flaws in your game. It happens. Yeah. But I think he makes up for it still, regardless.
Yeah. No, his offense definitely makes up for it on the defensive side. It's just, you can't have everything.
Of course. Everybody would love to be GP, Gary Payton defense on the perimeter, and Dennis Rodman defense in the post. Of course, I love it. Yeah. But it's not realistic. There's just some people he's not going to be able to keep up with. Mm-hmm. It just happens. Yeah. I think Giannis is one of the closest to it, though. But he's not Joker size. That's what I'm saying. If we saw Shaq and Wilt. But we never saw Wilt, so I know you're getting tired. I'm sorry. Yeah. I've never seen Wilt play, but, Kareem, too. I'd say Kareem as well. Yeah. But then again.
From what we saw, most dominant, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
That was...
I would say those are the three most dominant players ever. Like, yes, Michael Jordan was dominant, but not in the sense that those guys were. No. Like, yes, you couldn't stop him. Yeah, exactly. But there could be a night where Michael Jordan stopped himself because, hey, he just couldn't hit. Yeah. It happens. But when Shaq is playing you and you're just all night on your head, the only thing that's going to stop him is the free throws, but he's going to put up enough points before that, so it don't really matter unless you guys are keeping it close. So... Yeah. And then Kareem, the dude didn't miss. Look how many points he had for how many years?
He held that record for
40. It was 40 years.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
But, yeah.
Come on now.
And then Will, he scored 100 apparently. Never seen it. I don't know. We'll never know. I don't know if it's true or if it's. I don't think it's fake. I don't know. I've never seen anybody. Kobe was the closest. I tried it on 2K plenty of times, and I've done it, but nobody else has done it. I think if LeBron had done that once in his career, at least scored at like 80, 82, something like that, I think he get a lot more credit than he does.
He's what's his career? 60.
He's I honestly don't even know.
That's all I remember is that it's with the Heat, but
I don't know.
That's respectable. I can't drop 60.
I couldn't even.
I could get at least 3.
I don't even know if I could hit that.
I think I can get it.
Who's guarding me? Isaiah Thomas? He could still play defense, but the height thing is what I think I have a chance with. Other than that, I don't have a chance. I'm just gonna get my shot sent.
Isaiah Thomas,
I'm not saying he can't guard me, but I'm just saying height wise, that's my only chance. That's my only chance height wise. Or Nate Robinson, 1 or 2. Everyone else, they're sending my thing to the rafters, and then I'm never touching the ball again.
Bro. I forgot about Nate Robinson.
Dude, I used to love when he just went on that run for them. He's like, I got y'all out of nowhere. It was great time.
What happened to him?
It's he's not. He's not a big guy. His bounce probably started fading. That was what was appealing, is that he could jump.
What was he, 5'9"?
5'9". He's the same height as Isaiah Thomas. He's like Isaiah Thomas. Whatever Isaiah Thomas is, that's what he was, I believe. And he would just... He blocked LeBron James on a dunk attempt. Yeah. That should tell you how high he jumped.
Mm-hmm. He even blocked Yao Ming. I saw
he's blocked. He fouled the hell out of him after, but he blocked Yao Ming. Hey, when you get up that high, you're allowed to at least clip someone.
Let it slide. I'll let that shit slide.
Yeah, but no, he's blocked some people.
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess let's talk about this upcoming series real quick. So, I already told you who I got. I think the Nuggets, I don't think the Heat, they're a great defensive team. They've played great all season. I love everybody on the team is, they fit each other and they play well.
They got a bunch of dogs.
Yeah, they got dogs on their team. Yeah. And there's everybody with a chip on their shoulder somehow. I don't know. How do you get a team where everyone's just like, yeah, nobody likes us?
Yeah.
Because the Grizzlies are like that. but not everybody is like that on the team. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't. It's weird. Like it's different. Yeah, I don't know. Something about the way the Heat present themselves is what I think it is.
Because they got how many undrafted players do they have? Like four or five in the rotation. Like literally, guys have to prove themselves.
They made it to the finals with some of those guys. Exactly. That's why I'm like
Not even trying to be that type of person, but I never heard of Caleb Martin before.
And no, I didn't until this like playoffs. I was like, was he on the team the first time? Exactly. I didn't even know about him.
Duncan Robinson too. Earlier this year, everyone was like, "That's the worst contract in history in the playoffs."
But I disagreed because when he was in the bubble, he showed like he could hit shots, man. He missed those two the other night. Mm-hmm. But like I told you, I guarantee you, if he had those shots again, he ain't missing them. They just went in and out. It happens. The greatest shooter of all time has missed shots at the buzzer. Or just missed open ones. It happens. It's a game. Yeah. That's based on physics and geometry. So. So quick preview. I think it's gonna go 4 to the Nuggets because I don't think Bam can slow down Joker at all. I just think Joker. Yeah.
I think he will take at least one game, but I don't know.
If they take one game, that's impressive. I'm not saying they can't win. It's a lot for them to overcome. I think that's the key factor. Mm-hmm. If he's off the entire series, then it gets hard. Yeah. Because Joker can have all the points in the world. Mm-hmm. He has to then, but he can outscore at least 15 just depending on how many run the road. Let's say 9-man rotation. He can outscore 9 people by himself. No. It's not gonna happen.
MPJ, Bruce.
Yeah, Michael Porter Jr.'s got to play well. That's the thing. Joker can score as much as he wants. Mm-hmm. Everybody else has to be on because then all his passes are useless, and all the rebounds that he brings in. Mm-hmm. Aaron Gordon also, he has to stay consistent on just being able to just give him. He doesn't have to score a lot because him, it's the defense and just the energy he brings. Because he
just attracting someone on defense for him.
But for him, I think if he the series just average 10 to 15, just in that number every game, and just do the other stuff that you've been doing, it'll make it a real easy series.
Bro, he's honestly, it's crazy how much of a difference maker he is too.
Oh yeah.
Look at his stats.
Yeah, you're like he's not, and that's the thing. Like we said with the casual fans, they're probably just looking at how many points is he scoring. Yeah. No. How many rebounds, assists, and steals and blocks are you like? Let me know about the other stuff. Yeah. But then it also comes down to how do you play? The presence. Mm-hmm. It's like we talked about Anthony Davis. Yeah. You could talk about his numbers all day. Great on paper. But if you don't make your presence felt, people will just be like, "Oh, he just got a rebound. That's cool. Yeah. We'll get the next one."
Just like
and they probably do.
Draymond Green-esque type of. Not a fan of him.
Oh no, I can't stand him. But you want a guy like him on your team. I used to say no when I was younger because I just didn't like him. But as I got older, I understood you need someone who's just going to be like, all the stuff you guys don't want to do or like all that. I got it for you. Don't worry about it. You need it. Yeah. Or he's just like, you need me to guard him for you? Okay. Or you need me to switch? I'm not the best. He's a good defender, so. But I'm not the best defender, but I will be there for you. Like you need a guy like that, or just it's insane.
Mm-hmm. No, every championship team needs someone like that. So it's fact. Every team has had someone like that. So.
Or you need a guy who can come in and give you buckets. Yeah. Like if your offense is in a slump, you need a guy. If you don't have a guy who can do all the little things, you need a bucket getter. Those are the two things I think you need the most. Yeah. Because just based off of perspective, think about the Heat. They didn't have a scrappy guy for that. They didn't really, in my opinion, there was no scrapper. Mm-hmm. Chris Bosh he's not a rough, tough guy. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong, he grabbed his boys and all, but he's not the unit you would expect like Draymond, you know? But for them, I think it was shooters is what they had. Yeah. Mike Miller, they had people in those moments. If LeBron's driving in, everybody has to collapse because he's going to either win the game. And we had, kick it out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They had shooters. And then you think about, or like scorers, I should say. Mm-hmm. And then think about the Spurs. That, in my opinion, the guy was Manu.
Yeah.
He could come in and lose us a game if he did some stupid stuff. Don't get me wrong, but there were times when it was like, damn, we need a bucket. Manu got you that bucket, dog. Like it's or just the guy who makes a smart play, just a play. I guess you need a playmaker. You need a playmaker off of the bench. Just someone to be like, we're in a slump. Put that guy. He's got it. No matter who's guarding him, he's got it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. You know, this is random, but you brought up someone that I think would be like not. I want to say like a GOAT, but someone that would be all time great in this day and age, based on the way he was playing 10 years ago, is Chris Bosh.
If he was like today,
yeah, because like remember,
I can see that.
Like 10 years ago,
because of how the game has stretched so much. Yeah, he was one of the leaders of it,
bro.
Essentially,
we were like, get your ass inside, like you're 7 foot, like get inside the paint. Now it's like, dang, like all the typical big man is almost like 3-point now or stretching out.
Yeah, statistically, I believe Cat's the best at it.
Yeah.
Statistically, it's Cat, but and that's the thing. I don't think he's that good. Like, I think he does it too much. I don't
think he can be a second person.
It's weird though, because when he came into the league, he looked great. Yeah. Everyone was like, "Yo, Cat might be that guy," and then like he's fell out. Like, he never did nothing.
He kind of
just toppled.
He like went like this, and
then he's just like, I'm a coast now.
Yeah.
I'm good. I got the bread, and
maybe,
I'm not saying that's what that's what it felt like, because like
it seems like that.
It just seems compared to what he came in with and like all that. I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe he needs a change.
Maybe. I mean, Anthony Edwards is
he's
the next guy. So.
Anthony Edwards. Yeah. I mean, he may miss a bunch of shots, but he gonna take them and he's gonna give you his all. I like that. That's what I'm saying. You need a guy like that.
Yeah, you definitely got someone else that's not maybe change the way you have him.
Well, I don't think the Gobert trade was a good trade at all.
I don't know what.
And it ruined the league, by the way, because the stuff that they traded for Rudy Gobert, I wish I had a laugh button, because I don't care. That's the one player I will say he's only in the NBA because he's big. I've watched him play, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah. What is it, 7'3", 7'4"?
I don't know. I don't care. It's like, it's that quote that they have. Have you heard that one? Where he was in the game, checked into the game, and he was telling his team, he's talking about Joker. He's like, I got him. And Joker's like, buddy, I have 44. What do you mean you got me? Like, what do you mean? They won the game, too. I'm just like.
How many draft picks did they trade from? 4 or 5 first rounders?
Like, I think so. I don't even remember. It's outlandish.
Yeah, I know it was ridiculous.
And like a few second rounders, and I was like,
nah.
For who?
That definitely
the Snoop Dogg meme. Who? I'm sorry. I mean, hey, I know he's not going to see my podcast and he's making millions of dollars. Congrats. But I don't think you're a good basketball player. I think you're just really tall and you have enough length to play good defense and you're strong enough to play the defense. I think truly that's what it is.
Yeah.
Because other than that, when I watch you try to guard Steph Curry, it's like watching a grandma out there on roller skates. Though. Like, where are we going, buddy?
Yeah, I mean, granted, obviously he's a bigger guy, but just in general,
I get it.
His style of play now, I think, is not for the
he's got no bag. He's got no bag. No dribble moves, no post moves. He didn't have a hook. Dude don't even have a hook.
Yeah, that's same thing with Dwight Howard. That's why nowadays he's not even in the league.
But when he was
back then, no.
I mean, he was athletic enough that he could get by.
Yeah, and then
so
nowadays, obviously, he's like. I wouldn't say he's too old, but he's older now. So
he's playing in China, that's for sure.
Yeah,
him and Dylan Brooks are about to be teammates. Oh man. Ja's next if he don't cut it out. I wonder
what they're gonna do with this.
Who knows? I thought he already got suspended again. I believe he already did.
Already?
For that one that I'm just like.
Oh yeah, no, the first. No,
incident, the second one.
Yeah,
I think he already got suspended for it.
This latest time?
I think so. I'm not. Don't quote me. I mean, my days are mixed, so I might have just saw something about it, but it's just I don't.
What are you proving? Like,
I don't know. That's why I'm like, why do you have? Like, I get it. Don't get me wrong. If you want to have a gun, have a gun. It's America.
I'm pretty sure every NBA player has.
Of course, Gilbert Arenas had them all. I love you, Gilbert Arenas. I love you, Gilbert. I think it's a great story. I love the story every time he tells it. But
crazy upstairs. Just love him, but.
But there's nothing wrong with it, and that's like I said, I listen to other podcasts and stuff, to help also influence mine a little bit, but. I heard that as well. What was a comment I read was people saying, because a lot of guys in the NBA are like, it's a moral thing. It's not like the NBA tells you can't have it. You can't do that. Of course, they can't take that freedom away from you. It's America. You can't do that. 100%. Still, does that mean, hey, flaunt your gun and... No.
It's
like, they got to entertain people and like... People don't want their kids to be looking up to a basketball player who's pulling guns on people and like it's just like you have to think. Don't get me wrong, have your gun, do what you want to do, but don't be posting all up about it. And like the strip club thing, that thing is unfair. That one I was like, the club shouldn't be posting that. Like, don't post what he's doing in the strip club. That's no. They do that to everybody. Show that to everybody. You know what I'm saying? That's different.
He's not at work. He's
a normal person like us. He's allowed to go to the strip club. Should he be there? Probably not, because if someone sees. But hey, you're allowed to live your life. But just you got to be more discreet and more like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I guess that's my problem with it, is like you're just not gonna. You don't care.
You don't. Yeah, I guess not.
That I don't get it. And then, like, the people that are like, what does it matter? And I'm just like, you just don't understand.
The NBA has an image that it needs to protect. And
even if you're like, who cares about their image? I'm like, the guy that's getting paid should care about the image. Because if you mess up their image, they're going to mess up your check.
Exactly. All these kids that ain't going to have a kid.
That's why I'm like, if I was in the NBA, don't get me wrong, there's probably things that I would stop doing. But there are also things that I know that I probably shouldn't do that and let people see me doing it, because they might think, oh, what a weirdo. You know, just, I don't know. You know, just like be more cautious of the things you're doing is what it I don't know.
No, I mean, hopefully learn this time around. But
I hope so, man. I mean, he went out and had a talk with the team and then went ahead and did it anyway. So I don't think it's getting to him yet.
Hopefully this time around, whatever they gave him as the suspension or whatever the case is, hopefully that fixes it. But
I really do hope so, because he is fun to watch play. Yeah, I mean, he's got the bounce, he's got the speed. It's all there.
Yeah, he reminds me of a young D Rose. Honestly, just
just not at. I guess it's not because he's not as tall. It's a little different. But the bounce is there. It's all there.
The bounce and the movement, how fast and slow he can be at times.
Yeah, I mean, I want him in the league, so that's why I'm like, you got to figure it out. Like, you really got to sit there and.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need all the friends that you have. I mean, some friends aren't good for you, man. We all learn it. Sometimes you have to learn it the hard way. You're learning it the hardest, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it's your friends. I don't know.
I mean, based on what we see,
I don't. That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Yeah, hopefully they can help him for the better.
But
he definitely needs to make a change of some sort.
Agreed. Yeah. So I'm sorry, I didn't even let you get. We just talked about basketball. But so who you got in the series? So Nuggets. I said sweep. You got the Nuggets. But you think it'll be gentleman's sweep, maybe?
Yeah, I think 5.
Yeah. I'm proud that the Heat made it because of the way they made it, but I don't see it.
I think if they don't win game 1, I think it's gonna be sweep. I think that they'll maybe take game 1, though, honestly.
So if they win game 1, you give them a chance to win a few more then?
No.
Do you think that changes?
I honestly think it's just game 1 and that's it. I think honestly.
You don't think they'll win either, but you're a little more optimistic than I am.
Because I feel like
Nuggets they can win a game.
Yeah, I feel like Nuggets have had a week and a half by the time of the game. I feel like that's gonna mess them up in a way.
And they're playing in elevation. You gotta take that into account. They're playing in the mountains. That's one of those advantages that I think that teams in those areas really get an advantage from.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I mean, if you've ever been to where the elevation changes and you do something physical, I mean, I'm a big guy, so I know I'm already out of breath when I do anything. But I remember a few times, like when I first went to Colorado. Mm-hmm. And I was walking up that hill, and I was like, "Oh man!"
Halfway there, you're like,
I was like, man, it's hard to breathe because the air is so thin and just So it's a very big deal.
No, yeah,
especially coming from beautiful sunny Miami.
Yeah. I mean, even JJ Redick said that there's theories out there that don't prove that, but he's like, try and play there and you'll find out for sure. So
come on, dude.
Hey.
Yeah. There's a reason they have a training mask.
Yeah,
that you can train in the mountains because it's different.
Yeah, I think Nuggets in 5, dude. I mean, I definitely hope Miami can extend it, but I think if they don't win Game 1,
it's over.
I think
it's over.
But I think they'll get maybe one just because Nuggets have been sitting out for a while.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I don't think they're gonna win a game, and I think they're a great team. So
yeah,
the Nuggets are good, man.
Yeah,
they deserve. If they win this one, they have earned that championship. Yeah. They've lost to like so many people who made it to the finals, so they have earned it, and they lost to 2 champions. So
you're right. In 2020, they lost to the Lakers
to go to the finals, and then they lost to the. I just watched.
Last year they lost to the Warriors.
Yeah, and they won, and then they lost to the year before that. Who did they lose to? That also the Suns.
Yeah, bro.
I'm all 3 years in a row. They lost to the team that went to the finals. This is, in my opinion, this is their year.
Yeah, no,
it's lining up that way.
The way everyone's been playing, the way they've been on point.
And the way their mentality too. They don't feel like a team that hasn't been here. They feel like a team that understands. Like, all right, now we get it. Like now it's we've been through every single upset. We get it now.
So now, do you think if they win this year, it's a dynasty?
No.
Not in the making.
In the making,
yeah.
Maybe.
Because obviously, if you win one, it's
maybe
it's just one,
they'd have to keep. You'd have to sell me on 3 guys though, and I know people like you don't need to have 3 guys to have a dynasty, but it's just like
in today's game.
To me, all I see is just. But I don't know. I think the game can go back to a 2-man thing because that's how it was with Shaq and Kobe. And who?
Oh, LeBron and AD. Yeah.
I mean, there's it can work with 2.
Yeah.
I think it's just a lot harder to keep a dynasty with two people. You know, you always need
all the egos, contracts, and everything. Yeah,
and it's just you got to have different types of great players, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know, cause to me the 2 best players. Don't get me wrong. Have you heard that? I forgot before I continue. Did you see that there was a thing that somebody in Denver said that Jamal Murray is actually the best player on the Nuggets? Charles Barkley brought that up to some reporter said they made an argument about why Jamal Murray is actually the best on the Nuggets. I was like, that's got to be a joke, right? Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Jamal Murray great.
Maybe the best scorer.
Maybe.
But,
maybe.
Yeah, that's a hard name.
Come on, because he has his thing. Don't get me wrong. Great player, but geez, not the best on his team. Did Joker roll over and die for a week or what?
If you take Jamal Murray out, they may still win the final. I don't know if they'll get all the way to the finals, but they may win the finals. If you take Jokic out, they're not getting past the second round.
Who's the point guard for the Celtics? The starter.
Marcus Smart, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm asking.
I think Marcus Smart.
Okay, and who's the backup?
I think Derek White.
Okay.
Oh no, Malcolm Brogdon.
Okay, you could put those 2 players on the Nuggets, and I think they'd be in the same spot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because of, I don't know. That's just me.
I think he makes everyone better. So
don't get me wrong. Jamal has saved them a few times, but they didn't win championships in those times. Now that they're winning, Joker's head and shoulders. He's ready. He's been through enough of the getting close and failing, I could just kind of tell by his interviews and people. He's always kind of been like that. But the way he's been being interviewed recently is kind of just like, I'm tired of all this extra stuff. I just want to get to that point already. Yeah. You could totally tell the dude's ready for it.
I hope he gets it, honestly.
Yeah.
He deserves it.
I mean, he's going to get the 2 MVPs that matter. So, whatever. He got the one for the Western Conference. I think that's kind of cool, too.
Yeah,
and I think the only way Jamal Murray wins those is if Joker has, really bad games that Jamal Murray has to go absolutely insane to win them. That'd be the only way I could see them giving him Finals MVP. Other than that, Jokic is averaging a triple-double in the playoffs.
I was about to say, that's the thing, though. If Joker has a bad game, it's like a 11.
It's like, oh, was it a double-double?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Exactly.
He was one assist. Like, I'm not saying every game is like, but you know what I mean.
His standard is so
His
high.
standard is very high that a bad game is probably like he only scored 20. Oh.
Yeah, no, dude. He makes a difference in other ways, though. So
Yeah.
it's like
He will find a way to be effective.
Mm-hmm.
He's, again, to the Anthony Davis point, he will make his presence felt even if he's not the key point of the presence. Yeah. He will make sure that he's a presence enough that his boys can eat too. And I think AD doesn't do that.
Mm-mm.
I think that's what I mean by the presence. Like, I'm sorry guys, I'm not hitting tonight, but I'm gonna set you up and you got it.
Yeah.
I don't think he does it all the time.
The extra pass, it's freaking.
Or they're just getting at it on defense.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we talked enough hoops. Nathan, as you can see, is a Philly fan. I don't have a problem with it because I hate the Cowboys. So, sorry to all the people who love the Cowboys. It's honestly, I don't hate the team. I mean, I think Dak sucks, and anybody who disagrees, you're delusional. It's okay. It's fine. You sleep better at night if it helps you, because my you know him, Uncle Paul. Actually, yeah. You should tell him about this episode. So he can watch just this part. But he used to love Dak actually.
Yeah.
And recently,
now he's like,
he can't stand him. Oh, it's great to see. So that's how you know he's not good. Because someone who loved him and was like, no, it's not his fault. It's the offense, the O-line. Like they always say it. It's always the wide receiver's fault or the O-line or he got hit. Like, everybody gets hit, bud. It happens. Those you can blame.
Yeah.
But the rest, that's all him. Anyways.
How many interceptions did he have to his TDs this year?
Probably
like 15 and 15,
I mean,
right? Something like that.
Nobody's as good as Jameis Winston though. 30 for 30. I would take Jameis Winston over Dak Prescott any day. 100% W. What did he say? W. Yeah. Jameis Winston, you could play for my team. But it's okay. We got Jimmy G now. I'm still on the fence about it. And I'll be honest. It is better than Derek Carr. But I don't know if I like it. Because it's just like.
It can get worse. That's
it. I mean, it can't get worse.
That's the way I see it.
Because he's been to the big dance. Don't get me wrong. He lost to a great Chiefs team. I mean, I think they're gonna win it. I hate them. That's the thing. It's hard for me to be a Raiders fan because my favorite position is tight end, and I mean, we traded our best. I mean, I was happy we had Darren Waller because I didn't have to say Travis was my favorite anymore because for a while he's just so good. I mean, I don't want to sound weird or nothing, but God, that dude is.
He's a wide receiver.
He is. He's not a tight end.
No, he's a wide receiver.
He is a wide receiver. But yeah. So it's hard for me, and I can agree. I think if Pat Mahomes keeps at this pace, it's no more Brady.
Yeah.
You could say, oh, well, blah blah blah. No, if he keeps on the pace, wins the rings, the arm and the ability. Mm-hmm. I've never seen it.
Slings it sideways.
The way he's, I mean, Aaron Rodgers would be the closest I would say, but Aaron Rodgers, I don't think Aaron Rodgers could do. I don't think he could do what Pat does.
Like if they switch teams.
Not even that. Just some of the throws he makes, like the one in the. I mean, I know everyone talks about it all the time. The Super Bowl where he's parallel to the ground,
flat,
and he goes, "I got it," and throws it, and it's a good ball. It was a great ball. That's why I'm like, if he keeps at this pace, I will be happy to say he's the GOAT because don't get me wrong. I hate Tom Brady. So yeah, I'd love to say he's the GOAT because.
How many Super Bowls already?
3. He's won 2.
Yeah, bro. I mean.
Yeah.
Everything's about championships now.
But in football, in my opinion, it matters a little bit more because it's hard. You only have you had less games back in the day, but now you only have 17 games to be good.
Everyone healthy,
and you have one game to win in the playoff. It's not a 7. Yeah. That's why I think it differs in basketball.
No, you can be off one game.
Yeah, you get a bad game. In the football game, you cannot have a bad playoff game because that's your last playoff game. If you're the most important player, like if you're a quarterback and you have a bad game, that's the game. But there's no game.
Half. I mean, look at the Chargers.
Yeah, bad half.
They were by what, 28, 24?
Football is such a. If you mess up, that's the game.
Yeah.
If you just one mistake, I mean, it's like that in any sport, but I think it's the point difference. It's the way that the game flows. It's like you can't always be on offense.
Yeah.
Can't always be on defense.
Yeah. This past one hurt us too. So.
Yeah. I mean, it happens.
Young studs, so
I didn't want the Chiefs to win because I'm a Raiders fan, so I didn't want them to win. But I figured, I don't know. I mean, the Eagles look great all season. Yeah. I mean,
I can't even be mad at it though, dude. It's like Reed.
I mean, yeah, it's Big Red.
It's their whole team is literally nothing but players that know how to play. So
I mean,
I can't be mad, man. I
definitely think they'll be back.
Too. Yeah,
I think they have a chance to go back. I mean, y'all's.
That'd be cool if it's the same Super Bowl appearances, but that's hard.
Yeah,
it's hard to do these things.
But I mean, this football's great. We've been playing fantasy. I mean, it's. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I'm glad I didn't get last place.
That's honestly.
It's just
thing.
I had too many inconsistencies. I mean, but it's part of the game. I get it.
Who's your first one? Derrick Henry. Right?
I took Derrick Henry. Goddamn right, and he made up for it in the second. What my mistake was trading you Nick Chubb. I needed another spark, is what it was, and I had more faith in Derrick Henry than I did Nick Chubb. I mean, Derrick Henry's proven. Yeah, we know he can run. I was like, he's just a slump. He came back from injury slump, which proved to be the case. Nick Chubb just happened to be the third, the top 3 receiver or running back in fantasy.
I had 2 of the top 5 guys.
There you go, and I accidentally gave it to him. So I mean, you live and you learn. But I took a big risk, and that's what it was. Yeah. I mean, because I think I needed another I had no wide receivers. That was where that's where I lacked.
It was Marquise Brown that had traded you, right?
Yeah, and he did give me some points in some of the games I need. So I mean, it helped, but it's just if I would have kept Nick Chubb, I probably would have been at least top 5. That's for sure.
Where do you think D-Hop's gonna go to?
To the Raiders. I hope so. Woo! I hope so. I don't want him anywhere else. If we had Devontae Adams and D-Hop with Josh Jacobs running the ball, it makes up for losing, and Hunter Renfrow.
I forgot you had Hunter Renfrow.
I'm not worried about Jimmy G's ability. Just let him throw the ball.
I mean, hey,
D-Hop's down. He's over there. He's down there somewhere. And if he's not there, Devontae's running behind him. I mean, that's why I'm like, that's who we need. Yeah. Because they pissed me off. I don't care. We should have traded somebody else, but I don't. The Darren Waller trade, I
don't get that.
What are we thinking, guys?
Yeah, I really don't.
I'd pay him. I mean, I know he was injured all season, but the season before that, who was my fantasy dominant player? Yeah. He was the reason I won games this season, dude. Mm-hmm. The dude was playing like a wide receiver. And we were like, no, we don't need him.
Is that why they traded him? Because they didn't want to pay him?
Yeah, his contract was coming up, and he wanted, I guess, more than they wanted to get. I that's the one thing I'll say about football. I don't keep there's too many players for me to keep up with those details. Yeah. So I only watch in the season and keep up with the storylines then, and a little bit after. But other than that, I don't really care. So I don't know if I'm getting all the details right, but I'm pretty sure we didn't want to pay him. And the only problem was because we didn't pay Josh Jacobs before. And Josh Jacobs was on his contract year. The year that he popped off. The year that he popped off, yeah. That was the year his contract was about to expire. So the year he pops off, we have to pay him.
Just like Saquon. Saquon stayed healthy, popped off. Now they have
to be fair, the season before, Josh Jacobs was not playing very good.
Yeah.
So he didn't earn it. But I just would have, in my opinion, just know he's an Alabama guy, ain't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pay him. Pay him.
Mm-hmm.
The Alabama kids, most of them, I will pay them. From what I've heard, Nick Saban's a tough ass dude.
Yeah.
And he's no nonsense. Pay those kids. Like, look at Minkah Fitzpatrick, one of the best safeties in the league. I mean, a lot of Alabama guys. I may hate the team, but they're some of the best players in the league. I mean, maybe not the quarterbacks, but those other positions, Derrick Henry, like, they get it. They put the work in. So I definitely would have paid him regardless of the season, but I get it. That's just how the business works. But so I'm very optimistic for our season. I mean, we're playing in a really hard division, though.
Yeah, y'all, honestly, y'all have.
It's
up there for one of the hardest divisions.
We had the Chargers, the Broncos, who now have Sean Payton.
Do you think that's gonna be that difference?
Yes.
I think they'll be. I mean, it's gonna get worse than last year.
It all depends, though, if Russ is either it was just because of the situation he was in, or if that's who he's turned into. If he's that same player, Sean Payton ain't gonna matter because he looked cool, but like I said, there's something about you. It's a presence thing, you know. People don't, and I guess it's hard if you don't really watch sports. If you watch sports and you really care about them, you understand that sentence. You know what I mean by like a presence. Not so much like you can be there to play the game. Anybody can go and play the game for you and collect the check. But a guy who's day in, day out, you know,
making a difference on the team.
Just he always makes a difference. Or he just, if he's not having a good game, he's gonna help whoever's having a good game have a good game so they win. That's what it is. That's what I mean. Yeah, it's just I don't know, but yeah. So that's football. Season's coming. So, you know, Nathan's got the Eagles winning it all, and I got the Raiders because that's how football works. Basketball, a little different. I'm optimistic.
Anyone can pop off during the season.
Yeah, but the NFL, my team always wins. No, I'm just kidding. I know we're not going to win. But the Cowboys believe they are going to win. But they suck. Anyways, moving on. Yeah, I will bash them. Anytime I get a Philly fan or anybody who doesn't like them with me, I will gladly. Same thing with UT, and I am from Texas, but all the way to the death of me. Do not care. They were only good with Vince Young, and that's the only time I cared about them. Other than that, trash cans. They have the most. I get on rants when I'm around Nathan because Nathan knows how to get me going. But Texas is ranked in the top 25 every year, and what do? Suck. They just suck.
You know who I'm excited for this year?
Oh, who?
UTSA.
Yeah. I hope we beat them because I stayed to the death of me. So
last 2 years have been nice. So.
Yeah, they've beaten the hell out of us. Hey. I hope we beat them. We took UIW's coach, so I hope so. And UIW won a championship. I mean, it's not that good a division, but you know,
it's college.
It's a sport.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah. So but my thing about Texas, they suck. Yeah. They have all this. No, I wasn't done. Sorry, you just interrupted me. That's all. But they have all this hype every year, and then all of a sudden, they just lose. And doesn't matter what sport they play. Basketball, I laugh at the people that think they have a chance. They haven't had a chance. So they had Kevin Durant and Tristan Thompson on the team, buddy, and T.J. Ford.
Yeah, T.J. Ford.
Those were the only three people that ever gave him a chance, and they still didn't win. Crazy. One of the greatest players you've ever seen, scorer-wise, Kevin Durant. Couldn't win to a national championship. Different. Texas sucks.
Do you know where they got knocked out this past year? Or this past March Madness?
No, I didn't watch this one.
I think it was 2016.
There's some people who are probably going to let me know in the comments, but, you know, you still lost.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, Texas State didn't make it, but I didn't go to Texas State because they were a great sports team. I went because they accepted me to go to school. So if I had my choice, I'd be going to North Carolina, maybe Kansas, you know, places that put up numbers in the playoffs, unlike Texas. That's all. You know, I don't understand the dumb fandoms, you know? Like, don't get me wrong, I know my team sucks. But, like, you know,
like, be realistic.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I don't get it. Like, sorry, but this focus is pissing me off. There it goes. But it's like when the Raiders play, I'm like, there's a 50% chance we'll win the game. Like, I know we haven't been good since like people drove sports cars as daily driver, like muscle cars as daily driver. Like, they smoked cigarettes in restaurants when we won a championship. Like, come on. I know we're not good, but the Cowboys don't. They think they're good. You know it. And that I don't like that. I'm sorry. We'll wrap it up here. I'm sorry now. I'm getting ranty. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I know how much you love the Cowboys.
I guess let's close with those last segment, and then we'll wrap it up. We've been going for a while. This is nice though. So like we said, dad advice. Nathan's a young dad, so I mean, I just want to, I guess, give an outlet or just like let someone speak about their experience. And if, hey, you're watching my show, surprisingly, and you're a dad and you're like going through it, or you just want to hear a perspective, I mean, hey, let's hear something. So I guess you have a daughter, so I guess what's the hardest part about being like, you have to be a hard ass, but you also have to figure out how to be gentle. Yeah. Like, and I think there's a lot of guys that don't get that.
Yeah, I will say for having a daughter, it's kind of harder. Honestly, it's hard, dude. Like, it's, she's just the way it kind of like melts your heart to where you're like, come on, like I can't even get, like, don't get me wrong, I'll get mad if I need to, and like, you know, I have to put her in time out, but it's just like, it's hard. Honestly, it's hard because she's just there. She's looking at you and she's daddy. Like, oh, okay. It's like, honestly, yeah, it's hard. But I mean, you gotta raise your kids right and teach them good from bad. So it is hard, but I mean, you like, it's common sense. You know, just make sure you're teaching your kid right. Make sure you're telling them what to do and what not to do, what things they can do, and all that. But really, yeah, with having a daughter, it's definitely harder to find that middle ground. But I would say with me and Melissa, we have a good balance, honestly. We have a pretty good balance. And I would say that that's a big thing, is having a partner that helps with kind of disciplinary issues. Yeah, that's gotta be hard. Yeah, there's times where she'll look at me, she'll be like, come on, like, I have to be the bad guy again. I was like, yeah, I mean, that's fair. Let me be the bad guy. Let me be the bad guy this time. So I would say, yeah, with having a partner that's there and you're able to help out as much as you can, and they're able to help out, I think that's a big help. That's for sure.
Yeah, I guess for me, I think I don't have kids. I mean, if you know me, you know that. So, but I don't have kids, so it's harder for me to speak. But I guess from like, because like I was telling you earlier, like, I mean, I didn't raise my sister, but growing up watching a baby like day in and day, like for most of my summers, I understood kind of a little piece. I won't say I understand the whole pie, but I understand a little piece of what it's like. You gotta be attentive. That was the one thing that watching my sister taught me, was I can't just be like, just go over there like most men do, which I think is something that has to stop. I'm not saying like, I'm not trying to make a change for dads or something, but I'm just saying if dads want to be more respected, the other dads really have to start doing the part, because that's what hurts the people who actually care about being a dad. It's the dudes who don't give a shit.
Yeah, I mean, there's times where I'll even be like playing my game, and I'm like,
when I was here a few times,
and she's like, and I was just kind of around here, and she's wanting to like me to get with her and like give her attention. She'll literally come to me and like pull me by the hand, and that's whenever I'm like, okay,
like it's time to, I gotta be dad. I'm like, I'll have free time later.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, like, it's just, I mean, you made a commitment, and I gotta follow it through, and they don't get it. But I don't want to get sad on that. I think that's something, like you said, you told me outside, half of it is you just gotta be there.
Yeah, honestly, that's like really it. Yeah.
And I know that sounds like, damn, what a low standard, but just like, you know, we grew up around people who didn't have dads. Like, so everybody, if you've grown up, you know what it's like. So it's like Nathan said, like it is, you gotta be there.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, that's really a big part of it, is just being attentive and being there in person. Yeah. And I'm lucky I have a great partner with Alyssa, and she holds it down during the day. She does everything.
So you take over at night.
Exactly. So I take over when I come home, and I mean, that's really it. Just being there for them whenever they need you.
And that's what I think. Like, as a dad, I don't know. I guess from like watching you and like kind of just like, it's not hard to impress kids as a dad, I think. No. I don't want to say like it's hard for women, because there's probably some women who like, they can keep a kid's attention all day and they got it. But I don't know. I think it's like you mentioned earlier, it's that kid in you. You kind of get where that kid's like, they want to explore, and like, so you figure out like, how do I get them to not want to do what they're not supposed to do? Yeah. And I think as a dad, it's really easy. Because when I watch my sister, I know how to keep her occupied. same thing I would want to do as a kid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just kind of play with them or like get them to like just it's I don't know. I was able to get the attention to where like I could sit there and play Xbox and she's not doing anything else.
Yeah.
She's not getting in anything else.
Yeah.
Like, it can happen. You got to figure it out. But I think as a dad, it really is easier. I don't know. I mean, I'm not dad, so I don't know yet. But
no, I mean, it definitely is. I mean, for me and Alyssa, the instant I walk in, or the instant she like sees me, she's Daddy, and she like instantly runs to me.
You have like yeah,
and so I'm like, okay.
Like I got you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get this attention and I'm gonna keep it.
Yeah, I got you. Let's feed you. Let's give you whatever you want right now.
Yeah,
we'll play right now for a little bit, and then just kind of like I said before, just being there. Really, that's a big percentage of the job. Which I mean, that's all you gotta do. Really, just be responsible and be there for them, and help out as much as you can with your partner.
So, what would you say for you, or just in general, has been the hardest part of like being a dad and kind of being, I mean, in a sense, still kind of a kid yourself? You know what I'm saying? Like, what has been like the challenge where you were like, when it was presented to you, you kind of knew I have to fix it for my family. You know what I'm saying? Not, I mean, it doesn't have to be super it could be like the smallest thing. I'm just saying, what was that thing that you're like, I have to change?
It's tough to think of one thing, but I would say the thing that was the toughest is obviously being able to just, let's go here. Like, obviously we can't do that now. With having a child, it's more of like, all right, we gotta plan things now. You found like you've had to more compromise in your life. You've had to find. Like, we're not, we're not going out every weekend. we're not gonna do that.
Oh, dear Lord.
We're really just gonna be homebodies, and that's the way we are though. We hardly go out. We don't really like going out unless it's a special occasion.
Okay.
We'll go out, but really, I would say that was the hardest part at first, was just trying to adjust and be home with them, or being home with her, and being basically like not just passing her off to my parents or Alyssa's parents, like actually being here with her and spending time with her
and giving up some of the freedoms.
Yeah, and giving up some of the freedoms. That's really, I would say that's the biggest part at first that you have to adjust to.
And you know what? I guess I could see, especially for a young person. I guess that answer makes a lot of sense because I could agree with that because I know I'm not gonna say any names, but I see people on Snapchat and Instagram that we went to school with that I know have kids, and I'm like, "Where's your kid?"
Always going out, right?
Don't get me wrong. Like my mom, our parents probably did it.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean they should have. Probably should have just stayed home with your kid. Like, don't get me wrong. I probably would. I mean, you do go out, but there's there's some people that overdo it. Yeah. It's what I'm trying to get. I'm not saying our parents did. I'm just saying like everybody, your parents are allowed to go out. Of course, you have your time.
Yeah. Obviously, you need time for each other.
But if mom's going out getting plastered every weekend with her girls, like, what is mom doing? If dad's going out getting the same thing with his friends, I mean, what is that showing? You know what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying. You just have to know like I can't do those things.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I think kids raising kids need to understand that. Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, that's what's really the hardest part. And obviously, like friends coming over and like, oh hey, like just gotta know, we got the baby with us, so gotta make sure we're all acting straight. And but I mean,
don't get too wild,
part,
guys.
Everyone like they all kind of melt with her and they kind of fall in love with her once they see her. And
she's adorable.
And kind of see her playing around. But
I love that kid.
Yeah, I would say that's really the biggest thing was just kind of adjusting and like making being able to making plans and everything. But once you kind of figure out that middle balance, it's really cool.
Okay.
But yeah, I would say that was the biggest adjustment, just not being able to do whatever we want whenever we want. But I mean, it's gotta suck. It's honestly, it's worth it for us.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I'm not ready.
Yeah.
I think to myself, could I do that? No.
I
mean, I would do it, but I don't. I'd be like, we can't go to the movies tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, stop.
Small things like that. Honestly, it's like, damn. Like I gotta go to the store. I gotta let her out. I gotta get her back.
No. I don't want to start.
Instead of making like a 10-minute thing, now it's like a 30-minute thing. But
yeah.
But if you have like, even back to the thing, if you have a partner at home that's like really nice and attentive and like helpful with anything, it makes it a whole lot better. Which that's what we mean was to have. So
that's what you need. Yeah, that's good. Oh man, I mean, just I'm not a dad, so I guess this is like really hard for me to just ask you a question. I mean, just give me some perspective. Like, what is the? Because I've heard the phrase so many times. Yeah. When you have kids, it changes your life.
It is.
I want, like, what is it? Do you think you figured it out, or do you think like it's changed your life, but you don't get it yet? Like, are you still at that, or do you not understand? Like,
nah, it definitely flipped the switch. Like, even we have friends that's like, dang, it hasn't hit me yet that I have a kid, but like for me, it hit the instant right whenever like we like found out and it was like, oh dang, we have a date. Like, we have a date whenever she's gonna be here. Yeah, that was like right when I was like, oh dang, all right, this is.
I gotta go.
I gotta make adjustments now, and so that's whenever. Got a job, got benefits, take care of Alyssa, making sure everything's taken care of, and that was really the thing. Once we figured out the date, that's whenever it was like, oh damn,
it's dad time.
The
mode kicked in.
Time. I need to flip into the switch now, and like pretty much been in it ever since.
Okay.
Just making sure everyone's taken care of, Alyssa's taken care of, she's taken care of, she has everything she needs. But yeah, that's. Once we found that out, like the date, that was it for me. It flipped the switch. Then it's hard to explain, but it's just one of those things that once you feel it, you'll.
Almost so like it changed your mentality.
Yeah, like I'm not just doing something for me; I'm doing it for us.
Okay,
basically.
I see what you're saying.
So
like it wasn't like the things you were doing before. It was like just for you and Alyssa, and it's like I love you, but it's like. Yeah, it's just us, and like we can take care of ourselves.
Exactly.
I see what you're saying. We have to all take care.
Yeah, I need to make sure you're good, and then I need to make sure she's good.
So it just shifts the mentality.
Exactly. So instead of me just taking care of myself, now I'm taking care of three.
I get you.
So that instantly, that's what I'm saying. Once that day came, I was like, all right.
I have to change.
I gotta change. I gotta be in dad mode now where everything's taken care of.
It's interesting. And it's funny because, like, don't you feel like you've had dad tendencies your whole life, though? Like, I for sure feel like I've had dad tendencies. Like, there's times when I'm like, check that out first. Wait a second. Like, I do things that, like, your dad would be like, all right, dad, chill the hell out. Like, I'm just trying to hang out. Dude. Like, calm down.
Yeah.
I mean, my dad's not like that. But, there's some dads where it's like, oh, I don't think you should. Like, or did you hear about this coupon? Like, shit like that. Like, there's dad things that I feel like I've done. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm just like, it's interesting. I don't know. It's like an instinctual thing. And then when you have a kid, it's like all of that is awakening you.
Yeah. No,
I don't know. I might just be rambling.
No, not before. Like, obviously, before having her, it's like little things here and there that I'll do. And then now that I have her, I'm like, damn.
High socks.
Literally, I'm like, damn.
Jean shorts.
I like shorts now. I like cooking.
I've always liked cooking. I don't like cleaning up the cooking.
I come home, I'm like, damn, what's this fucking mess now?
I don't know if that's a dad thing. I think it's just a you thing.
Maybe, dude.
But I agree with you. There's times when I come and I'm like, dude, my room looks awful. Let's clean the whole room, rearrange it too.
Even like right now, whenever we went into the kitchen,
you were just organizing. He was organizing papers.
I opened up a drawer and it just literally, as soon as I opened it, it went like with all.
He was like, I have to fix it.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, I'm already here, so
all right.
Do that. But yeah, that little things like that, even simple things like mowing the grass and cutting lawn. Hated it when I was a kid. Now it's like. I love the way it looks whenever it's all clean.
That's so weird. God, that's cool though. I'm ready for that though. Those are the things I'm ready to be like, I need to fix the garage up a little bit.
Legit, bro. Yeah. And then
what do you mean you need to fix the garage?
Once it's fixed and clean, you're like,
Mm-hmm. But see, I'm already like that now, so I'm like, I imagine on that level, like when I clean something, I'm gonna be so ecstatic. I'm gonna call the kids and be like, look what Dad did.
Legit. I remember I fixed the sink one time and I was like, bro, is there anything else I can fix?
Hey, baby, you need something else fixed? You break it on purpose.
Break it. I fixed our garbage disposal and I was like, bro,
I could do anything.
Legit. I called my mom, bro. I was like,
Ma, is your garbage disposal broken?
Because I called my dad. I was like, Dad, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with this thing. Like, this
I didn't go to school for this, dude.
Yeah.
It didn't come with a manual.
He was like, just figure it out. You'll figure it out. And
I mean,
just working out.
That's dad rule number one. They will always tell you, you'll figure it out. Legit. My dad has told me that phrase more.
Like, Dad, I don't need
that's the type of dad. I love you, Pop. I don't know if you're listening, but that's the type of dad he is. He will let me just do it all day and not tell me what I'm doing wrong. But once you figure it out, he's like, you see what you did wrong? And I'm like, yeah.
I see why you didn't tell me.
But why didn't you tell me sooner, asshole? I'm just kidding. I love you. But he was, you know what? He had the same thought when he was a kid. So but he'll tell me how much worse he had it, and I agree. But you know, whatever.
Different generations, all that.
Yeah. So I mean, but that's just kind of how my dad was. He would like, if I couldn't figure it out, he wouldn't just like. He wouldn't even nudge me in the right direction. He would just be like, "Guess you're not gonna," kind of just like, "I guess you don't get it."
guess you ain't gonna figure it out, son.
You know those videos where they're like, it's like doing math with your elementary school kid. It was not that bad. I won't say he yelled at me like that, but there were times where I could see that he was getting upset that I wasn't understanding, and I'm like, I'm 5, sir. I'm 5. Nah.
It's soccer grade.
But I mean, it is hard to have. I get it. When I had my sister, I understood it though, and that's the thing I think is different. Yeah. And that's like you said, the compromise, the being there. That and it's like that mentality switch. You are just like, I have to put up with kids now. Yeah. You get it. You're just like, I'm having a kid. That's my. And I know it's probably sounds like a negative mentality. I'm not saying it like that. I'm just saying like, when it's like when girls have a kid, like they understand, gotta be like it's in their nature. When you're a guy, before you have a kid, like nurturing and being like that, it's just a little hard. Yeah. And like to learn it instantly, not everybody does when they have a kid. So I see all the things you're saying now. I kind of understand. Yeah. That's just so interesting. Yeah, no, how it's just like your mentality switches because you understand. It's like your fight or flight kicked in, and for some people, it's either choosing fight or it's either choosing flight. I mean, I know it's like very generic and like probably, you know, but like I understand what you're saying. And
yes, I still don't understand how some guys can do that. Bro.
Yeah, he's
whatever.
To each their own. I mean, karma's a real thing, I believe. So yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. You don't have to love the person you're with. No. I mean, but if you made a life. Buck up, buddy. Yeah, like what?
Doesn't matter what your personal.
There's people starving, and you're worried because you have to raise someone so they don't starve. You're a piece of shit. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. It's just like, huh? Like you just can't. You can't even. Yeah, I don't even want to.
Just be present. Like that's
I'm not saying that it's happened to me. It's just like you always feel like when you watch movies and shit, and you see shit like that, you're just like, what an asshole. Like, how could you even be mean to a kid? I mean, don't get me wrong. Some kids are mean, and there's some. But even if a kid was mean, you wouldn't wish that he didn't have a parent. And like, no way, dude. Like that's what I'm saying. Like and then the ones that blow my mind. I'm sorry if I'm ranting. Are the ones that don't have dads who think I'm not gonna be a dad either because mine wasn't there. What sense does that make? Shit. You see what I like? Yeah. Are you even thinking, or you're just like speaking? Because like that don't make any sense.
You want to be that? Like
you don't want to be what you didn't have for someone else, so they can be. You want them to be just like you is what you want, and that's not what a kid is. Anybody who has a kid I believe with the intention to just make a mini me. I used to have that when I was younger. I used to be like, oh, I want a little homie, but like I saw people that did that, and I was like, that ain't it, fam. Nah, man, that's not your boy. I mean, like your kid can be your friend. That's one thing I do agree with. You can be a friend to an extent. Yeah, you gotta find that line. You have to find, and I think right now we you get it as you get older, but the hard part is finding it as like a teenager.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. This if you don't want to, I don't know. If you don't want to be a dad, don't make a baby. That's just all. That's all I'll ever say. They won't listen, of course. I mean, you live your own life, but I'm just.
Man up.
Yeah, just man up, man. I mean, don't be the reason some kid is. I mean, you know what? I don't think it's a controversial thing to say, but don't be a reason the kid shoots up a school because he's upset that nobody ever cared about him, so he doesn't care about it. You know what I'm saying? It creates. I'm not saying anybody has, but you could see that happening and being somebody's reason. So I'm just like, we need to minimize the problems that we're creating. So like, because it creates mental health. It creates all kinds of problems.
Yeah.
I mean, humans have emotions, man, and other people are a big part of those emotions. So, sorry if that got like real ranty, but I mean, just hearing from like what you said, like it's just a switch. Just be what you have to be.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much. Yeah.
So that's why I'm kind of like, yeah, it is a little upsetting. All you have to do is just compromise.
Yeah.
Compromise, be there, and work your ass off. Those are the three things, I think.
Much. Exactly.
So yeah. So I guess Nathan, we'll wrap it up. Is there any? I mean, you got any more topics you want to throw in before we leave? Anything I didn't ask you that you were like, damn, I wish you would have asked me that because you said it earlier.
Shit. Nah, never mind. I was about to say, who's your NBA GOAT, but I already know that.
I mean, it's LeBron James.
Still don't understand how people can argue with that.
I mean,
it's a personal opinion. Like, hey.
It is. I mean, and you could say Michael Jordan every single time you want, and I'll say Plumbers right after that. It's cool. I mean, I loved him. I wore his shoe, and that's the one thing that'll bother me. Like, oh, you don't wear, nobody wears LeBron shoes. I'm like, who gives a shit? Yeah, I mean, cool. If Jordan never did what he did, we'd be wearing the LeBron ones. Those would be everybody's favorite shoes. So I mean, it's a time thing. That's all it is. It's a time thing.
That's what John thinks Kobe and MJ. That's, I mean,
look,
in our era,
R.I.P. I mean that 100%. Kobe would not in my. You're probably gonna be like, huh? Not even top 5 for me.
Not top 5?
No way. Yeah. He's just a copycat Michael Jordan. That's all he is. I mean, what is different in his game? The mentality, same.
Yeah.
The post, same. The style of play, same. He saw who he liked and said, I'm gonna try to be exactly like that. And he was one off.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't go 6-6, but he was one off of being almost exactly like him. Points were close, like everything was there.
Yeah.
And I know people probably be like, that's crazy you said that. I felt that way forever.
So who would you say is your top 5?
My top 5, okay. LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Kareem, Magic Johnson, and Shaquille O'Neal.
Okay.
I mean, Shaq, because and people are like, he's just big and fat. I'm like, cool. You couldn't stop him either.
Yeah, exactly.
You could put a big fat guy on him, and he's still not gonna stop him.
The reason why he averaged 35 and 15.
Yeah, the dude dominated. I mean, and people are like, oh, well, he just dunked. I'm like, cool. He did his job.
Exactly.
Anyways, it's just like people want him to be Steph Curry. Like, he wasn't. That wasn't a thing then.
At that time it wasn't for that.
So,
to the big man and let him work.
Hey, feed that man, let him barbecue chicken him. Like, come on, bro. Yeah, dominant. And then Magic, just for the way he played the game.
That's point guard.
I mean, Showtime, baby. Like, come on. God damn.
Pure point guard.
Yeah, another argument I don't like. I used to hate Steph Curry, but I'll give him his flowers. He's great. He's a great player. He is not the best point guard. No, he's the greatest scoring point guard. People might argue John Stockton, but
I think it's a fair argument.
It's fair if you're talking strictly just like assist and all that. Like, just like, I mean, I still think Magic's like, he was way better. Yeah. I just think, I mean,
numbers.
It's Magic, bro. 5 rings. I mean, yeah, Johnny don't got one. So I mean, yeah, but purest point guard, it's him. For me, it's him. Yeah. So that's why Magic's, and then just the way that's something that I've seen a lot of people talk about is how him and Bird changed and Jordan kept it alive till the people we grew up with came in and like we're like, okay, we got it.
Yeah.
Like we can keep this going. But it was because of those three guys. Other than that, I don't think we'd have the same game today if Magic, Bird, and Jordan didn't play.
It didn't have that rivalry or anything.
None of this would exist. So yeah, Magic for those reasons. I mean Kareem. It's hard to not put him at 2, honestly.
Honestly, never paid attention to Kareem. So
I mean, he was way past our time. I mean, so is Magic, but I mean, it's just the highlights of Magic are enough for me.
Yeah.
Like I need to see a couple clips, and I'm like, he's doing what? He's just
behind the bag, forward pass.
Just throwing all kinds of passes and just what is he 6'9"?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody did that.
No.
That wasn't allowed. If you're 6'9", go down there on the block, go post the game. Nobody did that. So that's why I'm like, yeah, Magic. And then you know what? No, I'll change it. I'll put Kareem at 2 because he is very dominant. He had one move and they couldn't stop it. All he did was just hook it, but you couldn't stop him.
I don't think you can still stop it now. Without getting the goal to him, honestly.
And then I'll put Michael at 3. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the guy. The mentality is by far one of the most competitive and craziest. Not in a bad way, but like just so much passion. Like it's insane. I get it, and I get why people are like, well, LeBron got that. I'm like, that's cool, but he could play the game very well, and that's what I like. I mean, because I just think I don't get me wrong, I am competitive. I don't think I could be Michael Jordan competitive. I can't relate I couldn't punch my teammate in the face because I didn't like the way he was practicing. No way. No. Like we're a team. Like I'll get upset and I'll shove you maybe, but then like after I'll be like, my bad, I lost my cool. Okay. Not full on swing and deck you because I'm upset. That's no. That's too far. That's too much for me. That's like, and people be like, you just got that dog. I guess not. I guess I care about friendship more than I care about the ring. I guess. It's just
respect to him though,
but respect, he made people want to reach that level though.
Yeah, without that, I don't think there's a.
Of course, don't get me wrong. Yeah, I mean, without Michael Jordan, I mean, the biggest face would have been Magic and Bird. Yeah, it would be nobody else until LeBron, and maybe Shaq and Kobe. Yeah, but then you think if Michael Jordan doesn't exist, do we ever even know who Kobe Bryant is?
Kobe might be MJ at that point.
He might not even
be.
He might not be that type of player. Yeah, he might not be Kobe. It's what. So I mean, don't get me wrong. Jordan is important, but it's just in terms of like, I guess that's how I define it. When people ask me who thinks the GOAT, have I seen them physically? Like I've seen LeBron with my own eyes. We seen it together. That's what I'm saying. That I've physically seen with my own eyes. That's the best basketball player I've ever seen. And I found that out when I was 7. Mm-hmm. I'll be 100%. I had no clue who LeBron. I only watched Spurs. Growing up in San Antonio, only thing you watch is Spurs games. You don't care about the other players. And any kid from here knows that. Like, unless you're a kid from like Dallas or something and we hate you. So, but yeah, that like growing up, it was only Spurs. So when they played the Cavs, I didn't know who LeBron James was. I didn't watch high school 2003 clips and stuff. Like I wasn't in basketball like that. But when I watched him in those finals, even though they lost,
one man show.
I was like, is anybody gonna help that guy? Because he's putting up every point and he's chasing everybody around the court. Like what more? And ever since then, that was like that's my favorite player. Because even the way he lost, you were like, damn, he could have won all 4 of those games if he had a little bit more help.
Yeah, if he just had at least one more person.
Maybe. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Those Spurs teams were dominant. But the way he was just scoring, like back then, that's what I think a lot of people don't remember is those old Cavs days. He would score at will. Yeah. It would just be like, get him away, I got it. Get him away, I got it.
Head down, shoulder down.
Yes, head down, shoulder down. And if you stop me, it's okay. His midi was prime at that point. Yeah. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's when I was like, okay, that's my favorite player. After I saw that, my whole perspective changed.
Nice.
So I won't say I've been fan since 2003 when he played for St. Vincent. No. But I'm just saying, like, that I physically seen with my eyes.
Yeah, 2007, I think, was the first time I ever kind of saw eyes and was like, damn, this man is...
He's doing what?
Yeah.
He's doing what? And he's how big?
He's doing everything.
He's like...
That was nuts.
Yeah. And I think that is also what I like about Magic. It's like, they just do it all. I mean, he plays good defense. Not the best defense, but he plays defense, and he plays great offense, and he makes his team better. But, okay. So I think we'll wrap it. Oh, wait. Nah. Before we wrap, I guess your top 5 then. You asked me mine. Hold on. Sorry. I got to get it out of you.
I'll do like a starting 5. I would say Magic at 1. 2, I would say MJ. 3, I would say LeBron. 4, I would say TD.
Of course. Oh,
yeah, and then
damn.
5, it's tough, bro.
I don't want to. Okay, look.
I would say Shaq, honestly, at 5.
So you got Magic.
Basically same, but take out Cap. And
yeah.
Then that's what I'll put in TD instead.
Damn.
I mean,
you know what? I feel upset in myself that I didn't put Tim Duncan.
Really?
It's not that I don't think he's a top 5. It's just he's not Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I mean, I don't get me wrong. He is. Tim Duncan is. That boy could play some fundamental basketball and make it look like he didn't do anything.
That's what's crazy.
You'd be like, he had how many? He had He just ran. He didn't even. Yeah.
Nothing sexy either, but just
and
got the job done.
And he won an MVP.
Yeah.
I'm so glad he did. Yeah, you know what? No, I'm gonna change mine. I didn't. Not saying like I'm bandwagoning the pick. I honestly just didn't even think, like, not in a mean way. I just didn't think about it. It's just like it's Kareem, but I'm gonna replace, because I've actually seen Tim Duncan play. Okay. I'll replace Kareem with Timmy, and so second, because that was our childhood hero, Nathan. Yeah. I mean, he made our city relevant growing up. So you know what? Yeah, LeBron James, then Tim Duncan, and then Michael Jordan. That's fair for me.
Without him, shit.
I mean, without him, yeah, Spurs, they would be gone. They would have left in '99 when we were born. Basically. Probably. So, yeah. But I mean, Manu's my favorite Spur, though. Yeah. Manu, man. I miss that guy every day. Every time. Every time I think.
We need another one of them.
There will never be.
No, there won't be. That's what's sad. That's what's sad.
He just, I mean, it's not that he's just one of a kind player, but in a sense he really is, because I don't think anybody will, he just had this, like, these balls on him, bro. He just was like, hey, get out the way. Like, when he dunked on, who was it? He dunked on Chris Bosh in the finals. Dude, I've never jumped out of my seat, because I was like, how old are you? And you just bodied that man in the finals? Dude. Yeah, Manu something. Oh, and then he blocked James. I remember where I was when I saw that. I yelled so loud.
I was at home watching.
I was getting fitted for my prom tux, and they had it on in there, and he blocked him, and I was like, let's go! Dude, I was like, yeah. And that's the thing. As two dudes from San Antonio, yeah, if you're not from San Antonio, yeah. And even if people here, even if they don't like them, they understand, though. Like, it's a little different. Because, like, in a sense, that's our only sports team. Yeah. And the cities around us that have sports teams, I mean, the only city I will say is better than us is Houston. I'm sorry. I love Houston to death. City-wise. Yeah, sports-wise, I don't care about them. But the mentality of we're this lower class, like, not, I mean, I can say this because we are Hispanic, but like, we're a bunch of Mexicans, like, nobody wants to come to San Antonio. Yeah. So winning those championships and like all that stuff, that was our life. Like, I went to like every parade I went to. The honking downtown, I was there every year. Like, it didn't matter. Yeah. So it's kind of like the Spurs, in my opinion, are the Philly of basketball in Texas. Yeah. They're the underdog that everyone's like, and my dad's gonna hate that comparison because he can't stand the Eagles and he loves the Spurs. But I mean, in the sense that everyone's like, it's them, and you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody wants to watch them. I mean, it's different now with the Eagles, but like They were always the underdogs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and the Spurs have always been the underdog.
Yeah. Or
so
no one ever paid enough attention.
Yeah, nobody cared because they're in San Antonio.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I can't argue.
I mean, I can't argue. I mean, I when I tell people, I'm like, yeah, that's where I'm from. Like, I know we don't.
No, that's what's crazy.
I know. It's just like I don't got much going on. I know it's a small city. We have the Alamo, the Spurs, and Mexican food. That's about it. And Fiesta.
That's right. It's all right.
Hey, don't get me wrong. The food is. Yeah. Anybody who thinks Austin has good Mexican food only lives there. I laugh when they tell me that. It's just like I've met people from, and I know I'm getting some flack for this, but I met some people like who are from California, and they swear by that. They say that what we eat here is trash, and I just some girl told me that she doesn't like carne guisada because the guisada is gross. The gravy, yeah. I was like, she's like, no, I only like asada, and I was like, oh, excuse me, from California, my ass. Put some cheese on that shit, girl. It's good. Anyways, sorry. I'm defending my city for once.
Maybe it is, but
I don't know.
San Antonio, I mean,
San Antonio's got the best Mexican food. Best food in Texas though. Go to Houston. I've never been to Dallas, so all the people are like, "What about Dallas?" Cowboys are there, so I don't like them. One, but I've never heard, and I'm 100%. Anybody who's ever gone to Dallas, I've never heard a positive thing. Mm-hmm. Everyone's like, "Oh, it was bad, dude. Almost got jumped, or he tried to rob." Like,
I never heard about food coming out of Dallas.
Yeah, and I never heard anybody saying like, "Damn, you gotta try them ribs or that soul food joint in Houston." People are like, you gotta try this barbecue. You gotta try this, blah blah blah. You gotta try this. You got like everywhere I go. So
I remember we went to the soul food spot a couple years ago. Man, that was good. I can't remember what the name was.
The seafood in Houston is good too, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, best food. It's just if I wasn't from San Antonio, I'd want to be from Houston.
Yeah.
There's no other city I could pick.
I mean, shit. We weren't from San Antonio. It might be a different answer, but the fact that we are.
Yeah, no. Like if I had to pick. I'm just saying, like, if you could tell me, like, where do you want to be from? And they was like, but you can only be born in Texas. H-Town till I drown, son. I mean, the music, drip or drink. The screwed up music. Yeah. They got the cheating ass Astros. Just kidding, guys. It's totally a joke. I don't even watch baseball. They let go of Deshaun Watson. Very sad story. Tragic.
They let D-Hop go.
They let D-Hop go for nothing. And then they traded J.J. Watt. So, sports-wise, they were there. They were there for a little bit. But there's so much more to do. If you've never been to Houston, I'd definitely give it a chance. It's a great time.
Yeah, Houston's cool.
That's why I'm like, I'd love to be from there. Not Austin, because everybody's weird. Like, that keep Austin weird shit, that's real. And they're just... the worst drivers I've ever seen in my life. Just awful. Yeah. I'm whispering because, I don't want to keep yelling, but they are awful. Awful.
I don't know, San Antonio is pretty bad.
I hate is bad. But, not everybody here has insurance or a license, Nathan. You do know that. I'm just being. I'm not even stereotyping. It's 100. I've seen a lot of people just drive off from accidents, and you know exactly why. So no insurance or no license. I'm just being honest. That's so you get what you get around here. But yeah. So I think we'll wrap it up there. I'm sorry. And if you guys don't like that Nathan didn't talk, I'm sorry. If I got really I can't tell. I felt like we were vibing, but if I got really ranty, I'm sorry. Like I said, I will come back for part 2 and get more out of him. But I had fun. It was fun just talking nonsense.
Yeah.
But yeah, stay tuned. We got more coming. I'm gonna set up some other interviews, pull up on some more people. But this has been fun. Nathan, thank you for doing this. Thank you for letting me sit up here. We gotta do it again.
Yeah. Okay. We'll do it with John next time.
Yeah, we'll do it with John. Make it real interesting. It'll be a wild episode. It might be 3 hours. But I'm gonna wrap it up here. Stay tuned. I know I haven't been keeping up with like the Instagram and stuff. I do have a new job where I'm working nights, so my schedule is a little off. I apologize. But like I said, we did have some technical difficulties, and then the stuff with Sean. So like it's been a little halted, but I'm getting it back going. I've been talking to a few people about getting some logos and stuff going. So I'm trying to move it forward. But like I said, just keep supporting the best way you can. Check out the pages. Message me, and even just send me questions, and I'll use them in the next episode or something. So whatever you guys do it safe, be smart, enjoy your life, and just try to get by. And always check on your boys. Don't forget your boy.
Later.
Peace.